So in this video, I'm going to be showing you a follow along workout designed for skaters who want to just start preparing their body for skating. So if you're new to training, this is a good starting point for you. We're going to be hitting stability, mobility, strength, all of the key joints throughout the body, and hitting those moves that we use when we skate as well. So you can do this anywhere in the world. You can do it at home, you can do it at a gym, you can do it out in the wild like we are here. I'm literally in a terrible spot to be filming, to be honest. There's a motorway right there, there's a human turd over there. But this is just to show that you can basically do it anywhere. The equipment that we're going to be using is the ground, the flat. We've got a little bench that's going to be useful for certain exercises, and I've also brought a weight with me, even though you can do this with a water bottle, like a 6 to 8 litre water bottle that can act as a weight as well. So that being said, let's get into it. This is going to take about 45 minutes and it's going to be completely follow along, start to finish, so we can do this together. Alright, so let's jump straight in there. We're starting off with a warm-up, as you should start any workout. So we're going to come over to the bench and we're going to get the foot up on top of it, and now we're just rocking forward, so sending that knee past the toes out in front like this, trying to keep that heel glued down. We're working ankle mobility here, so we're trying to take the ankle through its full range of motion. You'll find that as you get the knee past, that heel wants to come up, so we want to keep that glued down and not let that happen. We're going to get 10 reps out on each side, so just going backwards and forwards like this, really trying to send that knee forwards. And another thing you'll find as well is that as you come forwards, you want to get that hip out to the side, so think that the knee and the hip just go in a straight line, straight back and forwards like this. So just rocking in and out. If you want a little bonus banger here as well, we can also sink a little bit down into the hip. So as we push forwards, we can just kind of sit back down, getting our ass towards the heel, upper body upright, and just kind of sink into it. So once we've done, I think about 10, we're going to go over to the other side and just do the exact same thing. So just rocking forwards like so. Again, really trying to focus on keeping that knee and hip just in line like this. And I'm going to start sinking a little bit down into the hip as well. So you can spend a little bit more time as you do that. It's going to feel nice. You're going to get a nice stretch around the front and back of the hip. Remembering to keep that heel glued down. And there we go, that's about 10. So then after this, we're going to come over and do some little pogo. So imagine you're skipping. We're going to get random with it, all right? So we're going to do about 20 seconds here, just kind of getting random, bouncing in different positions, opening your feet a little bit, moving them around, jumping in different angles. My pants are falling down. So once we've done about 20, or until you've got a little bit of a burn in the calf, we'll stop. So that's about that. And now we're going to go on to do what you've probably done before, the world's greatest stretch. So you're going to step out in quite a extreme way out in front of you, get that back knee down below the hip. And here we're going to have the other hand, the left hand, so the opposite hand to the leg that's out in front, in line with the foot. You're going to reach across, crossing over that hand, and then you're going to reach up and really reach to the sky. So try and go up as high as you can. We'll do about 5 here. Trying to go up as high as you can. Trying not as well to like open up too much of the hips. So you want to do your best to keep the hips kind of down and facing to the ground as much as you can. So just going in and out, trying to get some mobility going in the mid to upper back. Swap over to the other side, so foot in line with the hand, that back knee down, and now you can just reach over and really go up to the sky. Oh yeah. So we'll do 5 of these bad boys. Last one. Okay, so next up, we're gonna go back to those little bouncers. Another 20 seconds, getting nice and random. Jumping all over the place. Imagining you're skipping basically. So we're not flexing a lot and doing jumps like this. We're trying to keep it really ankle dominant. So nice and bouncy. There we go. So next up, we're going to do another kind of mobility reach movement. This, ideally, you're going to have a wall so you can kind of reach over to the wall and support yourself if you need to. I don't have that. Well, there's a tree, but I'm not going to go over there. So we're going to stand on the one leg, lift up the opposite leg, and here we're going to reach up and over. And if you imagine I've got a wall here, I'd be reaching over and tapping the wall, also supporting myself if I need, and then now crossing over with that leg about 45 degrees back behind as we now reach up with the other foot hand in the opposite direction, and then we're going to go back. It's pretty hard actually if there's no wall to hold on to. So you're going to reach up and over like that, cross over with the hand, up and over. There we go, and now we'll swap over and do the same shit on the other side. So that foot planted down on the ground, lifting the opposite leg up, and now we're going to reach up and over, and now go back down diagonally in the opposite direction as we reach over like this. So trying to get a nice stretch on that side of the body right there, and then on this other side we're stretching out the other side like this. So you're going to go for 5 again on this side. So now we're going to do one more round of little jumps. This time imagine four points on the ground, and I want you to jump into those 4 points. So we're going to do about 20 seconds again here, which will be about probably 7 to 8 in each direction. So now I'm going to return and go counterclockwise around my little thingy, imaginary square. Losing my pants again. In the exclusive extended version, my pants fall down, but in this one, no. Sorry about that. So now we're going to jump straight into the main meat and potatoes of the training. So we're starting off with 2 exercises back to back, and actually all of the exercises that we do in this program are going to be back to back. So we'll be doing pairs of 2, and we'll be doing 4 pairs. So for the first one is going to be a single leg stand, where we're coming onto this one leg, getting a nice bit of flex in the knee and the hip, and we're kind of having our weight centered with that middle of the chest centered over that foot. So basically what you want to think is nice, solid, stable leg. That's essentially what's going on with this flexion of these joints. We're getting that nice active leg. So once we're here, the other one's just going to chill out to the side, and we're just going to stand here. If this is really easy for you and you're like, I can chill here, no problem, we're going to chuck in some head turns. So you're going to go up to the side, to the other side, and then you can even go up and back to the side. Really trying to just like keep that solid position, so no movement, making sure that the ball of the big toe and the middle of the heel, the inner heel, are glued down. So that point and that point right there, these 2 points. So keeping that up to the side, boom. So once you've done about 20 seconds on that one leg, or about 5 lookies, we're going to swap over to the other leg and do the same shit. So we're thinking just like a nice bit of flexion going on here at the knee and the hip, solid position there, and that knee as well staying nice on top of the foot, so we're avoiding this shit going on like there. So we're in that position. If this is easy, again, we're going to look to the side like so, boom. Trying not as well with this one to like curve or nothing at the upper back, so we're staying nice and active here at the top too, with a slight bit of incline over that front foot that's going to get that hip coming back a little bit. So once we've done that one, we're now backing it with some jumps up onto a box and then some drops off. So I've got my box here, and I'm literally just going to jump up, boom, trying to land nice and soft, nice and quiet, getting those flex going on as if I'm absorbing impact from like a gap or something like that. Now I'm going to step off and I'm going to do that same thing. So we're working on landing mechanics here. So I want you to think of dropping straight down, close, flexing the knees and the hips as if you were going to absorb impact from a drop, and landing nice and quiet. So we're going to do 5 here. again, jumping up, landing nice and soft, flexion in the joints, turning around and trying to drop straight down. We're not going over here, we're going straight down. So, boom, and then up, again. Really trying to land quiet. Don't rush this either, so each jump before you go, make sure you're in a good position. Boom. And we'll do last one. The height of the thing that you choose is going to depend on how high you can jump, essentially. I want you to, fucking hell, that was a loud chuck, that one. So, if this feels too high for you to jump and you're like, oh, I've got to get my knees up to my face and I just can't get up there comfortably, pick for something a little bit higher. A little bit lower. And if this is super easy, then you can also increase the height a little bit too. So anyway, back to the single leg stands with the turns. So now we're gonna go out to the side. Chilling, looking around, paying attention to the beautiful surroundings that are around me here. There we go. Swap over to the other side, same shit. And actually again, if you want, you don't have to do those head turns if it's too complicated. If you're like, whoa, and you're all over the place, you can just chill, look straight ahead. Really trying to get that attention in to the foot. Really feel what's going on. Pay attention to keeping that ball of the big toe and that middle heel locked in. Pressure distributed across the foot, but you're just sensing those 2 points. Making sure you got that a little bit of pressure at least on that ball of the big toe and the inner heel. All right, now we're gonna go back to back again to the jumps. So standing at a good distance, about 30 centimeters. Boom. And again, dropping down. A lot of people, when they do these drops, they kind of like do this weird curvy thing that's going on here. We want to avoid that. We want to try and land and actually use the hips and not load the back too much. So you're thinking getting those hips back. Imagine like you're sitting down in the chair essentially. How do you sit down? You go, boom, ass back down. That's kind of like how we want to land. We don't want to be like, unless you're like 80 years old, you don't sit down like that, right? So, boom. Trying to land pretty evenly distributed across each foot as well. Last one. So a lot of people that when they land up on the box or down, sometimes they can get a lot of this knee going in. I want you to think as well of just having those knees tracking more or less over the foot on the landing. So we're landing pretty much like this, not like this. All right, next one with the single leg stands. So, boom, on that leg. If you've been doing the head turns and you're also like, kind of want to mix it up a little bit, you can close the peepers. So we're gonna just do that, and that's gonna get a whole new realm of instability going on. This one I find is extra useful to really like sense the body. To really imagine that outline of your body and really tap into it, like what's contributing to stability, what's kind of activating to keep you balanced, and really get that like Jedi sense going on essentially. So once we've done about 20 seconds, we'll do the same shit on this side. Close the eyes again. And I'm like really Zen mode right now. The only thing that exists is all of the noise of traffic and the outline of my body in my mind. That's what I want you to be at, all right? I want you to get to that point. Some serious like Zen shit right here. And we're out. Okay, so the last one we're gonna be doing is back to the jumps. So final round of jumps. Again, making sure we're really prepared before we do each jump and each landing. Thinking landing quiet. What does landing quiet do? It gets us to think, it gets us to naturally kind of flex our joints, as opposed to thinking flex knee, flex hip, do this with the back or whatever. It's just a way of naturally getting those things to happen. So even though I'm giving you these cues of like, do this with your knee, do this with the hip, the last thing I want you to think about is the analogy of landing soft. Is it an analogy? I'm not sure. My job isn't English. Last two. Last one. And after this, we're going to go on to the next two, next pair of exercises. So, I'm going to have a little slurple. I'll allow you to have a slurple as well. So next two now, we're going to go on to split squats, back to back with some rows. To start off with this one, we're really hitting the ankle joint, the knee and the hip with this exercise. I want you to come down onto the ground with that knee straight under the hip, and this front knee is going to be more or less in line with the toes, maybe a little bit further forwards. It kind of depends on the length of your legs and the structure of your body. So you're probably going to have to readjust a little bit as you come up, but get essentially that knee under there and more or less that front leg in that position. Now what we're going to do is shift this weight onto this front leg, so that back leg's just acting as a little bit of support, and we're thinking vertical line, boom, straight up and down, like this. We're not going forwards, we're not going back, we're doing a vertical line, straight up and down like this. So once you're there thinking like, all right, I can get that angle nice, we're now going to rep it out. So we're going to do like 8 to 12 reps here, straight up with most of that weight on the front foot. Control, control, control on the way down to about 1 millimeter above the ground, and then up. Control, 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 control. Keeping that weight on that front foot and the pressures on the ball of the big toe, a little bit on the inner heel as well, and straight up like this. So control, 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 keeping that weight on the front. Upper body as well is nice and straight. We're not curving forwards like this. We're nice and in line here at the upper body, and we're just sinking down about 1 millimeter above, and then boom, straight up. So we're also not letting that knee cave in. A lot of people will find that they've got that inclination to want to get that knee in. So I want you to really try and control that. And then boom, straight up. So I give a rep range here, right? I say 8 to 12. And I'm also going to chuck in what's called an RPE, a rate of perceived exertion. And you're going to use those two bits of information to decide what's the right rep range for you. So I've done 10 now on that side, and I'm going to swap over. Okay, so going on to the other side, we're going to come down, get that knee under the hip, the front knee pretty much in line with the toes, weight on that front foot, and now we're just going to come straight up, control it on the way down. So rate of perceived exertion is a way of us gauging the intensity and picking the right intensity for us personally. So everyone's different, everyone can handle different amounts, and the RPE essentially helps us just pick the right rep range and the right intensity for us. So you're going to imagine a scale 1 to 10, 1 being like walking down the street, 10 being max intensity running from a lion, and we're going to aim for a certain RPE for each exercise. So for this one, I want you to think 6 to 7 out of 10, so 6 to 7 intensity out of 10, and aim to do the number of reps that gets you to that intensity. So for some people that'll be 8, for others that'll be 12. You pick that rep number that helps you hit the specific RPE for that exercise. I can't remember how many reps I've done, probably about 10, right? I don't know, it's hard to kind of like do stuff and speak at the same time. Okay, so we're gonna back to back this split squat with some rows. So you're gonna come over, if you've got weights, good. If not, then you can just use a bottle. Now, you're also gonna come up onto the bench with the knee more or less under the hip like this, with that front arm out in front. So you've got a nice straight line from the shoulders to the hips. So we don't wanna be like this, curved up like that. We wanna be nice and in line. So you're gonna have to play around with the height of the thing that you're on, depending on your body structure, to find that right position. You're gonna have that right leg just like flexed a little bit, sitting there comfortably on the ground. And we're gonna hold that weight straight down. So we're keeping everything completely solid here, except for the arm and the shoulder that's moving. So we're in position, we're gonna drop all the way down, not like this, just from the shoulder blade. So just getting that shoulder blade to drop forwards, and then here we're gonna row up like this. So control on the way down, about 3 seconds on the way down, boom, straight up. Control. So we're gonna do about 8 to 12 reps again. Really controlling it. A lot of people, they go up like this. I don't want you to do that. I want you to think hands more to the pocket. So more, not like this, more like that. Controlling it on the way down. Boom. Like so. And then once we've done one side, we'll swap over, do the other. So getting that knee pretty much under the hip, the front arm out in front at a comfortable distance so we can get that nice straight line from the hips to the shoulders, and this leg on the ground just comfortably flexed there in front. Head in line as well, hanging all the way down with that shoulder blade, and then bringing it up. So controlling it all the way down, back up. You don't have to come all the way up here. You can go more or less elbow in line with the body or a little bit past it. So again, control. And now, the intelligent ones out there will be thinking, but wait, how do we do the RPE when there's a weight involved? So now you've got to think, okay, if I'm starting off with a 6-liter water bottle or an 8-kilogram weight, the load that I'm using is going to dictate how many reps I can do, right? So you now need to think, okay, if the rep range is 8 to 12, you need to pick a weight that allows you to hit that intensity score within that rep range. So for some people, that will be an 8-kilogram weight doing 10 reps. They'll get to that 7 out of 10 intensity. For other people, it might be 4 kilograms and 10 reps, for example. So you've got to now play with the load and the reps to make sure you're hitting that right intensity. All right, so now we're going back to the second round of those 2 exercises. So back with the split squats, we rested probably about 30 seconds between each. We're gonna get the knee under the hip, front knee in line with the toes, boom, straight up. So nice control all the way down, trying to keep that straight in line, upper body from the hips to the shoulders, leaning a little bit over that front foot. So we're actually not coming up like this on this one, which is how you see a lot of people doing lunges. We're getting a little bit more of an incline. Sorry, how a lot of people do split squats. We're doing a little bit more of an incline over that front foot. So as we come up, we're also thinking pushing into the ground, pushing the ground away. Keeping as well those pressures there and there, and not coming up with that heel either. Boom. Now we'll go straight onto the other side. So same shit, knee into the hip, front knee in line with the toes, and we're going to come straight up with that weight on that front foot primarily. Remember that one at the back is just giving us a little bit of support, just acting as a bit of a kickstand. And the line that we're going is vertical, straight up and down. Imagine there's a stick in your bum. Imagine there's a straight line going from your hips to the sky, and you're just going in line with that line. So really controlling it on the way down. We're not dropping down fast, we're controlling it. We can come up fast, but we're trying to control that full range of motion. And again, knee, no, esto no, 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 no. Nice and in line. All right, coming over now to the rows again. If you want to get some water, I do, you can. So, back in, knee under the hip, hand over here, grab your weight. Nice comfortable position with that back leg, and nice line from the shoulder to the hips. Weight hanging down, boom, straight up, control it on the way down. Control, try not to lose that integrity of the back, try not to flop out of position, really do your best to keep everything like a statue. Nothing moves except for that arm and shoulder. Not forgetting to go that full range at the bottom. Really take it all the way down and control that last position. Control that last point. Boom. So we're not going to here, we're going that extra little bit. All right, I think that was about 10. Okay, so we're coming into position. Nice straight line. Boom. Also head in line. So people like to do this. If there's a mirror out in front, you want to keep everything nice and in line. Really controlling that all the way down. Control, control, control. Driving with the elbow. So we're not coming here. We're going more to the pocket, remember? Boom. There we go. All right. Last round of the 2. Now, this is optional. So if this is the first time doing it and you're like, I don't want to do any more of this exercise, that's also fine. Like starting off with 2 sets in your first session or 2 is also totally fine, you know? You don't want to push it and then pull it the next day like so destroyed that you never want to work out again in your life. It's all about being progressive. It's all about progressively pushing it little by little as you get stronger. It's not about absolutely fucking destroying yourself in one session and then you're too destroyed to even work out or skate for the next week. No, this is supposed to like blend in nicely to support your skating, not take you away from even being able to skate. So really remembering to control all the way down 1 millimeter of the ground, push the ground away with that front foot. Most of the weight on that front foot, remember, we're not pushing the ground away like this with the weight on the back. We're in a straight vertical line, boom, with that chest over the middle of the toe. So I think that was probably about 10. One thing that's really hard for me is counting reps, whether or not I'm doing the exercise myself or actually just helping someone do it. I don't know why. Something about counting that's really difficult. I mean, in my defense, I do count sometimes to 12 to 15 reps, so you know, I am dealing with big numbers, but even though it's still kind of difficult. So remember, most of that weight is in the front. Boom, up fast, like so. When I say up fast though, I also want to point out that I mean up at a speed that you can control. Move at the maximum speed that you can control. So if you go up fast and you're like, that's not it. You want to go at the speed you can control, so that it allows you to keep that stability, to keep that alignment, and to keep that weight on that front foot. Boom. Last one over here. So, get this guy again. Knee under, hands out in front, straight line from the hips to the shoulders, and then we're just going to razz it. Keep this left arm on the bench nice and active as well, so we're not flopping down. We got that arm active. Remembering as well to not lose the integrity here, so we get a nice straight line. Vale? Vale means okay in Spanish, by the way. All right, last one on this side. Okay, so we're doing the last one. All right, halfway done. Now we're moving on to the next 2 exercises in the workout, and we're going to be using the skateboard. So I know all of you were thinking, he's put the skateboard there as a prop to make this skateboarding related. No, we're actually using the skateboard. All right, so for this one, we're gonna be training the hammies here at the back primarily. So we're gonna come down and we're gonna get the board like so. We're gonna get our feet. Now this is important where you put your feet, because if you put them here, you're gonna be doing a mani. We're not training manis today. We're doing the hammies. I know it sounds similar, but they're different. All right, so you're gonna come down onto your back. In this position, so you're gonna have your heels on the board, toes up in the air like this. And here, we're gonna come straight up. So boom, up like this. Now, we've got a straight line from the knee to the shoulders, all right? And what we're gonna be doing is just rolling out controlled like this. So all the way out so your legs are pretty much straight. Boom, ass down, bring it back, up again, out all the way, boom, straight legs, down, back. So keys here are to really make sure that you're not dropping the hips. A lot of people will be like, oh, just flop it with the hips. Nah, keep them up, think up, 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 straight line from the shoulders to the knees the whole way, boom, down. Also, people sometimes come up way too far like this, and they're gonna feel it a lot in that lower back. So I want you to find a position where you don't feel that back. So you might benefit from doing that actually beforehand on the ground. You're gonna come up like this. And then from that straight line position, keep going up, 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 up until you feel the back. You wanna come then back down just before that back kicks in, and that's the range that you're gonna be going through. Because our hips can only take us through so much movement. And to get any more movement, we then have to use the back. So we don't want that for this. We're not training the back in that way with this exercise. So up to that straight line before the back kicks in and control it all the way out. Activation in the back in terms of like muscle activation is different to pain in the back here. Key point there. Obviously your back is activated, but we don't want pain. And then chill. That's a double leg exercise, that one, so we're only doing one. And we're gonna back to back it now with push-ups. So for these ones, you're gonna come down onto the ground, and I'm gonna give you two options depending on your strength level for this. So you can either go knees down, or you can do full normal push-ups. So I'm just gonna do the full push-up starting off. We're gonna get down on the ground with the hands a little bit wider than shoulder width, like this. Getting those feet, those toes on the ground like that to support ourselves. And now with a straight line of the upper body, so nothing's moving other than the arms and the shoulders, we're gonna push straight up. So we're in a nice straight line, control, down, and then up. Really control it. Trying to keep that straight line so we're not curving up like this and we're not flopping down like this. We're trying to really just keep that straight line. Boom, up. So another option, if that's way too intense for the rep range listed, you can go knees down like this and then do the same thing. So now we've got a straight line from the knee pretty much to the shoulders. So you get to the point where you're pretty much tapping the ground. So you've got a nice stretch there at the front of the chest and then up. So I think I've probably done about 8 combined with the 2. This ground is filthy, but so am I, so it doesn't matter. All right. Okay, I'll give you a little break actually, because I want some water. Luckily this is in the shade, this one spot. I set it up and didn't think the shade would last, but it did. Okay. So, back in. So we're gonna set ourselves up again with the feet past the bolts, so we don't do a hammy manny. Back down. If you also want for this one, support yourself here, that's fine. And now we're gonna roll out, control, boom, control, all the way. Trying to really keep everything stable. No movement other than at the lower leg. All the way. And get a bit of a rhythm going. Okay, that's about 7, I think. And now we're gonna go straight back in with the pushy P's. So, I'll do it this way, so you can see my sweaty face head on. We're gonna go hands a little bit wider than shoulder width, and we're thinking that at the bottom, we want those forearms to be parallel to each other, all right? So if you're too much in like this, they're gonna be out like that, and if you're too far over there, they're gonna be like this. So picking that comfortable position so they're kind of out, and as you lower down, the hands are gonna be pretty much in line with the nips. So control, push that ground away to come up. And we'll do one more. Okay. All right, so if this is your first time doing this workout, you might be best off to knock it off at 2 sets with this hammy exercise, because the hammies, they blow up if you hit them too hard in a session. So if this is your first time, maybe just knock this 3rd set off, because otherwise you might pull up the next day with some like pretty throbbing hammies, to be honest. Okay, hands down if you want for that extra support, and then boom, all the way, hips down. Trying to keep the pressure equally distributed across both of your feet. I think the board's moving a little bit angled to the side. Okay, so last round of push-ups. I'll do these ones in another way just to show you another option. If those are still too intense, another way you can do it is supporting yourself up on something. So the higher the thing, the less intense it's going to be. The more angled you are to vertical, standing, the less intense it's going to be. So you're going to set up in the exact same way with the hands more or less a little bit wider than shoulder width, straight line from the heels to the head, and now we're just lowering down in that same way. So nips to the thing that you're using, and then boom, straight up. So the nips are in line with the thing. Boom, control. Okay, so last 2, we made it, we're here. We're gonna do the final ones. We're gonna hit the calf, and we're gonna do some planks. I'm gonna do a kickflip, just because. Oh! All right, people, so we made it. We're at the last 2 exercises. Now we're gonna hit a little bit of the calves, and we're also gonna do some side planks. We're gonna come over for this one to a step. So we're gonna go on tour with the camera. We're gonna show you a new realm of the zone that hasn't been seen yet. There is some jumper over there that doesn't belong to us, but maybe we'll take it. So we're gonna get something like a step like this, and the height of the thing needs to be just high enough for you to be able to hang your heels down without your heels hitting the ground, all right? So without that tapping into the ground like this. I also want you to hold on to something for this one. So ideally, you're gonna have something that's not so far away. This is just the best that we've got. Could maybe hold on to this. No, that's not gonna work. So hold on to something that's just to take stability out of the equation here, to take instability out of the equation. We don't want to train instability for this specific exercise. We want to be as stable as possible so we can hit the calves at a good intensity. So we're going to come up on the 2, and now we're going to come down on the 1. So all the way down, really trying to control it. Then boom, get that foot down and come up on the 2, down on the 1 like this. So all the way up, and then down on the 1, trying to get all the way down until you feel that stretch at the bottom of the calf, and then boom, straight up, all the way down, get that stretch in the calf, and then straight up. So we're getting a bit of a rhythm going here, right? So we're not spending time here at the top, at the bottom, chilling, and we're not here at the top, chilling. We're trying to get that rhythm going. So as soon as we get down, boom, foot up, come up, like that. So as well, you're gonna keep that leg pretty much locked out, pretty much completely straight. People would like to do like bent knee like this, and that's a different situation. Here we're doing the straight leg version. So I want you to really focus on just keeping that leg straight for the whole way. And coming up like that. So once we've done the one side, we'll go on to the other and do the same shit. So another key thing to point out here now as well is that as we come up, when you take that one leg off, some people have the inclination to want to like drop down before they actually go through the movement. I wanted to try and stay up as high as you can, and as you take that foot off, don't lose any height. So don't lose any don't drop down at all before you start the movement. All right, so come up, don't lose the height, and now start all the way down. Come up, don't lose the height, and then down. So as we're doing this one as well, I want you to try and keep the weight primarily on the ball of the big toe. So obviously the whole of the ball of the foot's down, but we got that weight as well on the ball of the big toe. Not the toe, the ball of the big toe. So like that, up all the way, down all the way till you feel that stretch. Really making sure you come up all the way. And boom, there we go. Okay, so for the side planks, we're just gonna come straight down and we're gonna have a straight line from the heels all the way up to the shoulders here. Head in line as well, imagining that we're a statue, so nothing's moving. Elbow's gonna go under that shoulder, and we're gonna have the whole of our body in line with an imaginary wall out in front. So we're completely parallel to an imaginary wall. Actually, you can imagine you're locked in between two walls of the front and back of you. So you can't move forwards and you can't move back. You're just completely wedged in that straight line. So we're gonna hold this for the time that you can to hit that RPE. I'm gonna do it for about 30 seconds on this one. So really trying to like not move at all, keep that integrity, keep those hips up, not sagging down, keeping everything nice and locked in. Boom. And then we'll go over and do the same shit on the other side. So here, feet down, elbow under the shoulder. You can do whatever you want with this arm. If you want to have it like that, fine. If you want to have it up like that. Some people like doing it like this. I don't really understand those people, but each to their own, that's fine. I kind of just chuck it there. So we're gonna do another 30 seconds here. Do your best in this one as well to breathe through the nose. Keep that head in line as well. Chilling. Okay, I think that's probably about 30 seconds. So next up, we're gonna go back straight in to the calf raises. So I'm gonna try and do it here actually. Maybe I can show you better if we do it like this. Bit of a weird setup, but I think this is actually gonna work, yeah? So, again, we're gonna have our pressure primarily here on the ball of the big toe. So, not here at the toe, we're going like more so like ball of the big toe. And we're gonna do our best to keep the pressure there for the majority of the exercise. So you'll find at the bottom, you'll lose it a little bit, that's fine. Just do your best to kind of keep it in position. So anyway, we're gonna come up straight away, down all the way, control, and then straight up, control, all the way down so you get that stretch. Boom, straight up, don't lose the height before you start the descents. Boom, straight up. This really just goes to show that like you can actually just get a workout in anywhere, you know? I mean, look at this setup right now. This is the weirdest shit ever, but it's working. Okay, and now we're gonna go on to the other side. So we're gonna do that exact same shit. We're gonna go straight up and then control it all the way down, up all the way. Really trying to keep that pressure on the ball of the big toe and control the whole movement. So we're not flinging, shooting down, and we're not bouncing out either. We're controlling all the way down. Okay, gonna have a little bit of water. I just spilt it on myself. So straight back down. And we're gonna get those feet now, boom, on top, elbow under the shoulder. Remember those walls that are locking you in. And we're gonna hold this now to hit that RPE, whatever time that is for you. I'm gonna do 30 seconds. Elbow on top of that other elbow. Sorry, that's a shoulder. Shoulder on top of the other shoulder. So we're not doing this and we're not doing that. We're nice and in line. Straight line. Trying to breathe through the nose. Okay, I think that's probably about 30 seconds. And now we repeat for the other side. So get yourself nice and comfy before you go. And boom, straight up. Now we're chilling. Holding that position. Alright, okay, we're good to go. So, back into the last round of the calf raises, and I'm going to do it again here. Alright, so last round here. So we're going to come up on the 2, down on the 1. So really control that full range. Now, I want to just say as well, this workout, this is just one workout of a full program. This is just one example of a workout day. When I train people, I do a bunch of other exercises as well that I would do in different workout days. Now, obviously, I can't train everyone here in Barcelona. So for you people, I've got a program that's up on the website, available with a bunch of exercises, a bunch of workouts like the ones that we've done today, that take you through a full program, hitting everything that we need to just feel on point and skate and prepare our bodies for skating. So if you want to check that out, it's called the MBD Skate Performance Program. It's a 12-week program. I'm going to put a link down below, and you can suss that one as well if you want more and you want to kind of take what we've been doing today a bit more seriously. So once we've done, I think about 10, now I'm going to go over to the other side and do the same shit. So again, I would have a wall here in front. Yeah, again, I would have like a wall here in front just to hold on to. Just to really take that stability out of the equation. I keep saying the stability, but I mean the instability. We don't want to be unstable. Okay, last one. Boom. All right, and the final exercise of the session is going to be side planks again. So we're back down, the last side plank of the day. Coming up, and we're just chilling. So, holding this one for again about 30. And then after this, no, I won't say that actually. All right, last one. breathe through the nose. All right, so there we go. That is the session complete. If you've actually stayed and you've done this whole thing, mad respect to you for putting in the work today. If you've stayed and you haven't actually done the workout, then you've got a lot of time on your hands. So I guess you've got to be doing something right. So fair play to you too. So we're gonna finish with a little cool down. Just a few minutes of some breathing. If you want to do some stretching, you can also chuck in some stretches too. That's really up to you, but the main focus is just slow, controlled breathing, trying to just like chill as much as possible. This you should chuck in at the end of your skate sessions, at the end of your training sessions. And this is also the piece that like people just forget, that they just don't do. So maybe you'll just sit here and you'll just breathe in through the nose, and then long exhales all the way. You can go through the mouth, you can go through the nose. Just double the length of the exhale than the inhale. It's really trying to just like relax the body as much as you can. Or you can just do some stretches as well. So the classic one like this. The key for this though, we're not forcing nothing if you do choose to do stretches. You're picking a real light intensity, nice and chill, not too intense at all, just a light stretch, and you're keeping that breathing going. So combine it with the breathing. And there we go. So chill here for a little bit longer, spend a few minutes doing that, and again, give yourself a little pat on the back for actually like getting this shit done. If you want to check out that program that I mentioned before, there's going to be a link down in the description below. So again, that's just workouts exactly like the one we've done today, but including a bunch more exercises and different workouts that just gradually build on top of each other, gradually progress you through a bunch of different training that's going to prepare you for skating to get your body feeling nice and on point. So if you want to check that out, go check the link down in the description below. And that's it for this video. Let me know what you thought down in the comment section below too. If you got any questions or if you've got any recommendations for any videos that you want me to do, go drop them down there as well. And that's it. Peace.